favorable so far here. He's looking for another, and he does, but those are Viper poison sitting on top of that spike. So frustrating as you have to wait out. Ian forced to push through, eventually to fall. Soniqs down to 1 on Dizzy, but that spike, they're gonna have to force to stick it. They'll spray him down, knowing where he's coming from. And Koalas close this out. They'll claim the first round.
Yeah, they managed to overtake those lads, you know, against the Viper stuff. I don't know, not too much to say about that. A little bit worn out because we have been talking about these Vipers a lot, and really, and when it comes to stuff to keep your eye on here, it's
these
just,
darn lineups.
Yeah, right. They're going to be trying to force those lineups. Why not? It works every time.
Every time indeed. So that has to be so feels good. Opening round, a little bit of a confidence boost for the Koalas as they are sitting now with that Screwface with that Marshall. We've seen him be so nasty with it. He'll find himself one. And that orb too. Oh, feels good.
Not too shabby. Have the expected result for this one here. In that first round, the success. Ooh.
Oh!
Talk about that a bit later. Soniqs found success in getting that spike down because of the double satchel through. This time, they don't really have as powerful of plans here. They're struggling to even strike blood against Kooky Koalas in the early stages. But a sky down is a pretty massive frag to find. You see a rotate over towards B-Long. I'm guessing they're going to be trying to contest Screwface here. Wide swing with a couple of players. And if they have any good luck, good fortune with it here, then they'll commit to the site. Otherwise, I don't think it's exactly out of the question to maybe see a teleport play.
Absolutely. Screwface, good for another, though. Swaps out his gun for that SMG from Kohler's body. Make that a triple kill for him. He is on fire, locking this site. Ian down to his lonesome spike in place still. He could take that the other way. No, just kidding. Not enough time. He has to commit here.
I think he actually would theoretically have enough time to see how the Astras actually start making their way over the site. But yeah, Ian at this point is just going to try to full send it. No reason not to die here, so he'll just get the spike down. Why not get a point closer to that Viper's Pit if he can still help it?
Oh.
He'll get there anyway. Clean round for the Kooky.
They won't even give that. They won't even give that to him, but I mean, now they're on rifles. Rifles on hand, they're going to have to play against the bonus of the Kooky Koalas here. Oh, Ito, look, there's a judge on Ange.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Our favorite.
Gotta love to see it. Judge over towards U-Haul. He's gonna be sticking with it for a little while, but for now, not too much action to be seen. Still very early stages of this round, obviously. Agarol, Soniqs upping the pace as they take bathrooms without really any concern whatsoever here. But look at this response from Kooky Koalas. They're going to be sending through, through market, through B entirely. And since they spot nothing, they can start effectively affording all those rotates over towards A. Soniqs are being practically herded to go towards A here, and they're about to be completely and utterly collapsed upon.
This flank, Screwface, he's good for that. He'll find himself a pick. Anderson, that one-way smoke and showers has to be so frustrating to deal with. He'll peek through, get himself a kill. And look at Kohler over here. That is a Tiger trying to find the rotations, and they will. They know that they are sitting way back here. Looking good for the Koalas this round. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
I was gonna say. So good. I'm pretty sure, isn't that supposed to be like a dingo or something that Sky brings out? I'm not even sure. I'm pretty sure it's a dingo.
It's
I really looked.
Tasmanian tiger or something.
Something like that. I try to shoot it, whatever it is. I just don't want that thing anywhere close to me if I can possibly help it. Kooky Koalas in this third round looking really, really strong. Mind you, this was a bonus for them, and yet they're still finding some amazing results. Again, that collapse certainly is the exact reason for their success. And talk about a decisive victory for them. They're going to be able to get a couple of upgrades. At least one. Bob, I'm pretty sure, gets away with her life here. I don't see her knocking out hard. But it's overwhelming success here, honestly, Nikki. That's what you have to take out from it the most. Ooh, that's really bad. Oh, God, that's terrible.
That is mega bad. Oh, no.
Oh, their money. Oh, they're poor money.
Oh boy.
1 second,
Well,
They were not.
I gotta visit the astral to
I mean, you talk about the collapse, right? I don't know if they were expecting that aggressiveness from Screwface, but that's what he's been doing so far. He's sitting with 6 kills to his name, has not died yet. Actually, most of the Koalas have not dropped a death just yet, and that is also Bladestorm on hand. Has to be frustrating.
I don't know, it's got to be incredibly tilting having a game start out this way and just a complete and utter defeat in your third round, your first actual gun round of play. That being said, it's not going to be made any sweeter. Screwface is able to take out the Reyna from the side of the Soniqs. Now, really, what you're going to be looking at here is, again, another push out, this time through B long, and Screwface should be able to find an easy second kill here. Just wonderful pushes for map control.
Absolutely. He is just getting set up. Like, you're seeing the trades coming out over on Hookah. He transitions over, gets the trade following that drone. Ayen, though, will find Ange just jumping around. Manages to ninja his way through, but Anderson will eventually trade that out. Clicks on his lonesome. Sheriff in hand, spike available. They will spot that from far away. That is a bit of ADS not really working out in their favor. So Clicks, he'll get that spike down. I don't...
Probably doesn't go any further than that, but I think he'll happily take a spike. Just get a little bit of a money in the coffers, right? But this is 4-0 right now for the Koalas. And if you're a Soniqs fan, you gotta be biting your nails right now and be like, yo, what? Yeah, what's going on here? This is the way that we want to start out on Bind, the Decider map. Also worth noting, though, Nikki, is that this is the point where, again, you're going to be seeing those ultimates start to come online. What I want to see from the Soniqs here is, again, them trying to fight probably over towards B long. That has been kind of a problem area for them. If they can get that Hunter's Fury through, I think maybe just trying to toss your drone out, and I think Bob might be able to find an early frag with it. But, you know, that's just one thread that you could potentially pull on here. I'm sure the Soniqs have way more ideas than me.
Absolutely, but we are seeing the operator in the hands of Screwface. But he's not going to find anybody outside of Showers, and that's going to be a bit of information tell for them. As Clicks satcheling his way through onto Hookah on the back of that Lear. But they are just line of sight removed with that Astra smokes. And there it is, Hunter's Fury expended from Harmon right now, trying to tag as much as he can. Screwface grabs Ayen even from that teleport. Oh, still a minute left.
Minute left, but good information that they spotted over towards B long. That dingo goes through the teleporter. A player down here, and that being your smokes as well. Soniqs really, they have it all to do here, and it doesn't seem very likely that they even get past the starting line.
They really do, and Harmon, it looks like, yeah, he's going to spot his other Sova twin. That is Bob there. Oh. Gonna swing through Kohler? No, Kohler will crouch, get Bob, managed to grab himself to Kohler. What the heck? Anderson finishes his out. 2 for him as well. Flawless round, flawless game so far for the Koalas.
Absolute destruction right there. I don't even know how Kohler was ready for the second person there. Anderson, same story with them. I just think right there, it was so one-track minded from Soniqs. And again, it's easy to criticize, say that much, but obviously it's way more difficult when you're actually put in these situations. I think it kind of starts from the foundation. Soniqs probably need to change up their approach, whether it's something fast, whether it's something slow. It's just start from the very basics here, because this default hasn't really been too effective against the Koalas thus far.
That it has not, and Kohler baiting out that dart from the Sova drone here, manages to do so and even dodge it through, grabs, no, there he is, he gets tagged, but I almost feel like you kind of wouldn't mind having that Hunter's Fury being extended instead of it being used on the coast plant, but Kooky Koalas, they're just sitting comfy right now on all sides.
I don't think it's a bad idea for them whatsoever here. I like this approach, though, that they're taking. Sure, they're kind of completely neglecting A, and I think are leaving themselves very liable for a potential flank, something of the sort. But as long as they can hold on to this and actually have a good ignition for their execute, they have an actual fighting chance.
Hold on though, that is a Hunter's Fury expended, but has to fall back a little bit because those Seekers are pushed out. Dizzy trying to push through as well with the rest of his team. It looks like B is the play here, but Kohler is good for one, but Ian and Crunchy, they are cleaning up and cleaning house. Koalas, they are down to one with Screwface. He's already getting tagged. He only has 11 HP and has to venture through into that Viper's pit,
Wow.
and he will fall. Triple kill for Crunchy. That is the round that Soniqs really needed.
Yeah, great round for them, and of all times it came through, it was on a Thrifty. I think what was massive there is, again, they had a really good foundation. They were able to keep all 5 players alive by the time they set up for that plant, or set up for that execute, excuse me. They used, the Empress as well as the Viper's Pit. I think those are totally fine. I mean, the Viper's Pit is just that damn good, and it was needed for a round like this. You cannot just keep on bleeding rounds, but they need to repeat that success here. I think Soniqs, or excuse me, Koalas are going to be quickly realizing that, hey, we need to be starting to fight for other parts of this map. You know, we kind of let them have B for too long. We didn't even bother trying to apply pressure through market. And look what they're doing now, Nikki. They're sending 2 players towards B long.
Exactly. Oh, but Screwface finds Flix with that operator. Bob trying to see if they can tag anybody here. Crunchy already aggressing onto site as that Reyna. He was good for that earlier, but he does not have that Empress to play with. They will try to get that spike down, but look at where Anderson is with that shotgun. Not able to connect. Crunchy takes him down, so it's still an even number game as that spike trying to get it planted. They are not still. They are slowing things down, as you mentioned.
They're sitting on it for a while, but look at this. The flank is just about to come into effect here, and this is where things will get a little bit more bloody. That Sky ready and waiting over towards shore. Of course, it's Kohler. He's going to be at least able to find Crunchy, who's the hero of this last round. But this round is far from over. It could still swing back into the favor of the Soniqs.
Exactly, and even with those tags here, they are very much aware that, yes, there is at least one. He does. Bub swings over. Ian grabs himself another. It's still a 2v2, but they need to tap that spike because that's a gravity well sitting on top of it, and there it is. It gets expended. Dizzy takes the hunt down, and it's all up to Ange now, and that spike ticking away. Not good for it. Still, there he goes. He gets the one. There. Oh!
Time. No time,
Does
though.
he have time? No.
Oh, that's so brutal. Honestly, though, I mean, hell of an attempt there. Kooky Koalas, they give up the second. Soniqs win it by the skin of their teeth. But, I mean, think about all the good things that happened for the Koalas there, despite despite everything that we're just talking about, right?
Yes.
They had Kohler quick in on the flank here. Just if a couple of kills go the other way, right? If Screwface is able to somehow catch out Bob in that shower's position, we could have seen a very different round on our hands. Because Screwface was very much in a playmaking position, right? He was able to watch U-Haul, and then his teammates could have applied pressure onto the spike, etc., etc. The list goes on, but just a couple of fights there, Soniqs are able to gather themselves and find a second.
Oh, it's looking... I mean... That was a good round for Soniqs because they managed to kind of salvage whatever economy issues they had. They lost so many players that round, but hey, they're all still able to buy up. But that operator is still online for Screwface, and he's going to use that to just like hold things down. But I do like that they've switched things up a bit here on the side of Soniqs. They've had success last round for A side. They just need to stay alive for these post plans. And look at his Lear open things up. Screwface already forced to fall back and readjust. Flix flying through, but it is Anderson that finds Bob in the showers, and that's a rotation over from the rest of the walls. Oh no, actually,
Look for the showers flank soon.
Harmon is gonna anchor a bit, but no, that spike is now down. Yeah, Screwface, he gets himself one. Oh, that is a numbers advantage. Dizzy Life will find himself one. But Flix is blind. That is. Oh my god, that is a trade. As that Cosmic Divide will go down on the side of Kooky Koalas here. They're looking to use that to hopefully save themselves a little bit of a defuse here. They'll get it past Harmon. Yeah, he's sticking through. He's going to die. He does get it to half, but oh, that utility. Now they're going to have to commit this as that spike picking away. Screwface gets one. It's all up to Aya now, has to swing through. It's good for triple clutch indeed. Soniqs, they'll take another round.
Beautifully played by Ian at the end of it. The tail end of it is really just that snake bite doing a ton of work, allowing him to kind of get back into the round there. But also, big ups to Dizzy. That Cosmic Divide, maybe it wasn't exactly as game-changing as you would have hoped, but it certainly did a very strong part there in being able to adjust rotations in favor of the Soniqs, right? It's small things like that, plus the fact that he was anchoring showers, sitting in the back end of it, was really able to cause a lot of problems for the Kooky Koalas, and that'll be around.
Exactly, and it looks like the readjustments here are really working out on the side of Kooky Koalas though. They got that read. It's going to be an A hit until they ride the teleporter out. Screwface tries to pick through, will get himself a bob, and will dash away into safety here.
Enter the quiet midsection of a round here. Soniqs.
Well, look at that satchel through. But it's Plix to fall Harmon with the Guardian, Screwface as well with the Operator, just cleaning house. Crunchy grabs himself too, but they are down to 2 to the 3, but that is a Viper Spit expended to secure that spike. And that is a spray. They'll get the spike down though, but that Viper now gone from this round. Oh, Crunchy!
Wait.
That's a Quadra! Doesn't matter. Anderson locks it in. Ooh, nail biter of a round for the Koalas, but they will take this to 6.
Could have nearly been one of the sickest plays of the entire tournament.
Oh my
You know what they say, you
goodness.
never expect the third person sitting in the exact same area. That was a nigh impossible task. The Vandal unable to find that third right there, but still an admirable attempt. Very bloody, right? I mean, the Kooky Koalas, they really need to start trying to build up that eco, but it's an easier said than done sort of task. Honestly, big ups, big respect for them to being able to keep it that close, Soniqs, but now they need to keep applying this pressure, and eventually they might be able to break through. For now, Koalas stay strong. They're Kooky, they're Koalas.
Indeed. Soniqs, it looks like they're doing a bit of a force here, like some light armor in play. Plix with that Judge, we've seen him play so aggressive as he satchels his way onto the lamps. Hoping to be good for a kill here, but I mean, with the adjustments that the Kooky Koalas have done, look at all the pings coming out on the map.
You are divided.
It's going to be their line for the Cosmic Divide. In response, though, will be a Hunter's Fury tossed out immediately, trying to apply pressure, make it so they can't easily go in through short. Meanwhile, while that's
Look at
happening,
that
there's
flank.
players coming in.
Yeah, Screwface good for 2. Cleans up from the back end. Plix not even able to find one. Soniqs, they are dropping Screwface with a Quadra of his own. Locks that in for the Kooky Koalas. Oh my goodness. Ito. If you're a Soniqs fan right now,
Place some stars in
watching
the
them
astral plane.
having to go into another save round, playing against that Operator, but we've seen them before. We've seen them really swing things in their favor, even on a Thrifty. So it's not impossible. It's just absolutely difficult.
About that.
Certainly, and you can't expect any team to try to get away with something like it. I go flash down, be long, spots nothing. As a response to just having a second time where you have been completely and utterly screwed by a flank, they're going to be keeping a very hot eye here over towards Market. Meanwhile, though, it's also worth noting the fact that there is a player currently situated in towards Showers. So going for the long approach here. You know, they're getting control all over the map despite their pretty lackluster artillery.
Just a little bit of the birds flying through, try and see if they can, you know, delay the push, delay the punch. But look at how low Crunchy is already sitting. And Kohler will clean that up, take him out.
There's
Look
a
at all
player
of these
over towards
Astra
Showers.
utility. Mm-hmm.
Makes you think, though. I mean, are they just waiting for a cue? I think they're just trying to make as much noise as possible to allow for a potential rotate to be gambled from the Kooky Koalas, and then maybe they'll actually try to decide for an execute. Showers is being watched, though, as
30
this is
seconds
happening.
left.
All of it relies on that kill coming through, I'm pretty sure. And look at this, Spike is actually going over towards A. This is going to be their final destination. Who would have thought? Well, apparently the Kooky Koalas, they're well aware of it. They take down I.
Yeah.
That might just be the round.
Yeah, there's 10 seconds pretty much left to play with here. Bob taking so much damage, has to run his way, her way through. No time, Kohler, good for 3. And that is now 8 points on the board for the Koalas. Oh,
Last round in the half.
you have to be so happy with this scoreline coming into the half, right?
I mean, you gotta be, right? At the very worst, you're going to be looking at an 8-4, which is so comfortable, so confident. Kooky Koalas in that game of stamina, it feels like they've only played 3 mappers today, and actually wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. A tactical pause being called. That was a damn good time to have one as well. Soniqs have been struggling. And Marwee's got trolled. It's actually just maybe probably a really short one to, you know, fix up any tech issues that they had. Either way, we're done. We're dusted. We're getting into this next round here. Final one of the half.
Yeah, I mean, that might just be them saying, get her done, let's go. I mean, what else can you do here? You're just trying to see if you can narrow that gap just a little bit. But
Right. I mean,
the Koalas, they're sitting pretty. I've said that time and time again, and they're just happy to play the waiting game against the Soniqs here.
I like this early approach though by the Soniqs. White default, making sure that they can't get flanked at least in this early game, but eventually they're starting to meet up over towards A. That wall will start going up behind the flashes. They're once again going to be setting up for another full execute. Right behind that, Hunt is here being used. Bob is going to be able to clear a very important area. That's Harmon down. And Nikki, this is massive. First advantage that Soniqs have had in a little while.
Absolutely. We've seen this actually from Soniqs on the back of that Empress. They were able to capitalize, get themselves a win, but Anderson already pushing through. That spike still not planted. There it is, the Viper Spit is expended to try and see if delay any type of a push here. So Soniqs, they have to take it over to the other side. That is.
They don't have to. They just felt so confident. That's wild.
10 seconds left.
They will get that spike down, but the numbers still pretty even as far as as I say that though, Plix manages to find himself a screw face on the rotation. Crunchy as well. This is what I'm saying here. Plix finds Ange with that showstopper and Kohler on his own. There it is, the 8-4 scoreline coming into this at the half.
Very confident round by Soniqs at the end of it, although overall, you know, maybe not the half that Soniqs were looking for here. I don't think it would take a genius to be able to tell you that, but, you know, they had some really confident rounds here or there, and I think it's at least a baseline that you can start working off of. For now, though, I really think Kooky Koalas have a chance to completely and utterly dictate the pace. They are going to be on the attacking side after all, and for now, it's just how quickly do they move in. I'm going to be keeping my eye mainly on Kohler here and see how he's going to be using those birds, because that is going to really just kind of aid them when it comes to information more than anything else. Kooky Koalas definitely winning it in that regard. So much info that they're gathering.
Yeah, it looks like for the attacker side, the Koalas, they're going to be spread themselves out quite a bit here. A bit of a default setup of sorts. Like, they're just trying to see if they can poke the fences, take a peek at how the Soniqs want to play this. But that is vision information given from both sides as the Sovas really playing to their role. It's a lot of plank damage.
Oh, rotates. They aren't being sold by this presence. Well aware. The Soniqs are just realizing that, hey, it's very likely this isn't their final destination. Don't rotate too early, and they'd be damn right. Look at exactly what's happening. Walking through their crosshairs. This crossfire by Long B is about to be lethal, I'm pretty sure. Ooh, Punchy might be spotted. Yeah, he's...
Oh yeah, they know that's a gravity will force the rotation over even. Henderson, they'll punish that rotation. They know that they have to run through. Dizzy trying to sit in the barrels will eventually get traded out. And Soniqs down to one. Ayen on his own. Spike will go down.
Spike planted.
They'll peek him through. They'll get that win. Koalas Looking very promising here, sitting at 9.
Simple as that. Kooky Koalas with a strong pistol. Really, again, it wasn't even Kohler who was the hero of that round. It was actually Ange. Great grab. Well, eventually just kind of forced Crunchy to have to go through the teleporter. And from there, I mean, he thought he was home clear, but Anderson just kind of sitting there all by his lonesome. I suppose that, you know, might kind of give away a little bit, right? They might try to dedicate a little bit more love towards Showers in these late rounds, and if they can spot Anderson, they'll kind of understand the anatomy of the hold from Kooky Koalas. So perhaps it's something that they could exploit later on, but for now, I mean, Kooky Koalas are going to be eating good. They're only 5 rounds away. Excuse me, I can't do math. Never do math on stream. I have learned that. 4 rounds away, excuse me, from being able to close out this map and the series and the championship.
Look at how Soniqs have postured themselves. Everybody and their mother sitting over on A site.
You only have pistols,
where
right?
does a spike? Yeah, where is that spike though?
It's towards B for now, but you know, at the very
No.
wait a second.
What?
Kooky Koalas, don't get too kooky with it. You might just walk into a nightmare.
I mean, that is Screwface already pushing through though. Tries to shoot through with that judge, but look at how many of the Soniqs are sitting back there. I don't know if you expect something like this. It's almost like a death trap of sorts, and you're just wondering, like, what's the strategy here?
Dude,
but
I
it
want to
doesn't
see
matter.
Screwface push so bad, dude.
You know, IN will find that opening kill. There it is. He's good for one. Doesn't matter. That's a trade. They'll give that judge. That spike taken away. Kooky Koalas. Man disadvantage. IN taps that through. They're gonna get it to half even, and that's a gravity well finally used. But I don't think they realize that spike's sitting at half.
Sitting at half, and very likely could just be stuck right now. They'd probably be A-okay.
Exactly.
Darn spike. That's it. That's round.
Oh my god.
That is how it ends. A hard read from the Soniqs and the patience of a Tibetan monk to keep everybody over towards A, and Kooky Koalas, maybe they outbrained themselves. I'm not 100% certain of why they felt confident in finishing things up over towards A, but perhaps a bit too preemptive. They walk into the belly of the beast, and, well, I mean, they're eaten alive.
If you told me that this clown car strategy with nothing but pistols in your hand over on lamps on A side would work out in the favor of Soniqs, I don't know if I would have bought it. But
I mean, that's the power of a gamble, right?
My eyes just saw, and yeah, absolutely. High risk, high reward, and man, Soniqs got rewarded for sure.
The thing is, it's not even that high risk, too, because, I mean, what's the best you're going to hope for, too, right? You somehow get some crazy pistol picks or something like that as they inevitably run into you. It's like, it was a smart call by them, simply put. I guess a little bit risky, but I don't know, the patience, the discipline to hold eventually worked out for them perfect here. Seekers use Kooky Koalas, keeping their hopes high that they can still win this round here, although they're on a pretty shoddy bye.
That they are, but it doesn't matter. Kohler will find the head. Crunchy to trade with that Phantom, and that spike now down. It is still a 4v4 here as IN trying to push his way through into Lamps. Crunchy sitting up top, hoping to see if they can find anybody as well, peeking through, and he does! Manages to find Screwface on the movement. Rest of the team of Koalas still having to sit through. That is a gravity well working in the favor of Soniqs here. And Anderson left to his lonesome, not able to hold, and that is going to be another round for Soniqs. Huge.
I mean, huge in the sense where they just really need to make that big number up top increase, but that was also, you know, not Kooky Koalas at their strongest. Right now, they're going to be at their strongest here. They have the guns in play. Screwface only a point away from having that Blade Storm, and then he'll be basically on even footing with the rest of his comrades in arms. Again, good time to note that you're going to be starting to see those ultimates indeed come online, and boy, there's some big name ones here too. I'm not sure if they maybe give it over to Anderson, because that Viper's pick could single-handedly win them the round if they get that spike planted. Like, I mean, you're looking at a variety of tools for Kooky Koalas right now. The onus is going to be on Soniqs to try to innovate and maybe get a hard read, something like that. But for now, it's question marks.
Yep, Screwface pushing his way, will fly through, secure that lamps.
They can sit on this for a
Anderson
while.
as well sitting out. Oh yeah, but Bob Hunter's Fury in hand, looking to see if he can tag anybody. Not really able to connect here. Look how far in Screwface has pushed. Has to fall back though, because that's information given that he's way out of line here. But Flicks,
Whoa.
not good for it. Kohler will take him out,
Spike
and that
planted.
spike finally planted.
All quiet for now. Viper wall about to come through as well. Now Soniqs
yeah,
hold strong. Kooky Koalas have just been able to hold on to this map for so long, and that's big. Screwface, no shot.
That
He gets
is a
another.
judge!
A third! It's just egregious!
Oh
More
my
found in you all.
goodness.
Eventually he's taken out, but Kooky Koalas, the damage has been done from them. And Soniqs, they can't even begin to think about rebounding. 10 rounds for them as they inch closer to the finish line.
Yeah, that was so scary. They had such an aggressive play here. They gave up lamps to the Koalas, and it really worked through the benefit of Screwface there with the judge on hand. Manages to find himself too, as you're seeing on this replay, before finally being removed. But, I mean, that's just a distraction as that spike is just going off, taking away. You need to, like, push your way through, but no, they're taking him out.
That's a $1,600 weapon, by the way. Unbelievable that would be that. Absolutely insane. Shutting off single parts of the maps alone. We'll talk again a little bit about that later, but for now, Soniqs have already started this one in their favor heavily as they pushed out towards Hookah. A solo play works out in their favor. Crunchy's able to find the first one onto the Jet as well, mind you.
Absolutely. They're going to force a reset a bit here, the side of the Koalas, as they try to figure out where they want to play, knowing that they are a man down. So if they can find themselves a pick, but hey, Soniqs, they're going to play this patiently. They are on the defense, so it's up to the Koalas to do something here and force their way onto a site. It's just all about finding those picks.
Quiet on the Western Front for now, losing a player like that and having it go completely untraded. I mean, at this point, Soniqs can just sit on their laurels. They have absolutely zero reason to try to innovate and look for a new frag, something like that. The onus is going to be on Kooky Koalas to fight. Fight they will. Anderson about to peek out.
30
I
seconds
think
left.
Clicks is in a favorable angle here, so they should be able to secure this one. No biggie. And for now, you're just going to have to see Kooky Koalas win some comfortable fights here because their slow, tactical pace certainly hasn't been working out. They realize it as well. They'll save these guns. And as we head into number 18,
10 seconds
for
left.
now,
Oh, yeah.
Soniqs are well on their way to maybe evening this up even.
I mean, this has to feel good for Soniqs. They're removing a little bit of that padding, the separation that they have, round difference from the Koalas, but the Koalas, they still have money to play with here, so they're going to rifle themselves up again, and I think Screwface, he's going to have to play a little bit differently, making sure that he doesn't die so early, because it really throws that momentum off. They need him to entry, they need him to dash through and secure the site, while the rest of his teammates are on the flank backing him up, and it looks like that's what they're going to want to do, but this time on B side.
I don't think it's any other world though. I think Screwface there just kind of got caught off guard by the Reyna. Like, it was a very risky peek that Crunchy was going for, just dry swung into death. It doesn't happen every single round, but if he does it here, that is a completely different story. Crunchy, thing is with the Reyna, you need to find a kill if you want to dismiss out. He won't be able to do that. He concedes the space entirely, and that will allow the Kooky Koalas to start moving in pretty frantically towards B. Is this their final destination, though, is another question entirely. The Spike seems to have some questions about actually committing.
Absolutely. I mean, I do like that they're just going to commit to this because they know that the Reyna teleported over. Bob will find a kill. They get traded out. It's still a back and forth here, but the favor is still on the side of the Soniqs as Bob, good for 3 now, eventually to fall. And that's, yeah, that is another round on the side of Soniqs.
It certainly is another round for them, and Kooky Koalas, I mean, what necessarily even went wrong there?
I should play
it
some
feels
Astro Stars in
lame
this reality.
to have to go ahead and say, oh, they just kind of lost a couple of fights. But in that case, I mean, was that really not the case? They had the map control in their favor, right? Sure,
Up I
they
go.
effectively made that Reyna rotate, and they probably
should
couldn't
work.
go through the teleporter in case that she was going to be
That'll
camping
work.
it, which she indeed was. But,
About
I mean, they had a lot of great tools to work off of, but Bob just went nuclear.
I mean, that's really just how it, how the tables turned, I guess, is
They turned good.
sometimes someone will just frag you out. There's a little bit of Plinks over here as this shower battle. Kooky Koalas, they want to push through, but it's Plinks who takes out Kohler first off. That's the first blood of this map. And the rest of his team forced to fall back a bit here because they are nothing but pistols on hand against the rifles. I mean, Screwface does have that judge.
Screwface
We've seen him do some work with it.
Position too with that judge, right?
Yeah.
Kind of expecting to
Yeah.
probably dash out into his own cloud burst or something to try to make space, but he's not going to be really enabled to do that unless the rest of the team starts rotating around him, which, in fairness, is exactly what's going to happen. Time on the clock as well. Rotates not quite being read. Soniqs might be caught off guard by this sudden B push. Rotates will be quick approaching.
There it is. As you called it, that is a dash through from Screwface. Not going to find Bob, though. She is on fire right now. This is her site to lock down. Kooky Koalas, pressure is on with 20 seconds left on the clock. They need to get that spike down, but Bob finally adjusted over. Will fall. Crunchy is sitting still on that corner here. Showstopper in place. Stops the plans, and it is, I mean, no time at this point. It is running out, and Anderson on his own has to try and find a kill, has to get that spike. Doesn't matter. IN closes it out. This is looking like a game. We're sitting at 10-9.
I would say we're going to be going to a map 4 at this rate, but yeah, it doesn't exactly work out that way as much as I'm sure we'd all love to see it. Wild. Honestly, wild how the Sonics dealt with that so well. I know Bob only got one frag from that position, but she found one of the biggest impact frags that you could ever hope for.
Yeah.
Being able to deny an entry entirely like that. Screwface, I mean, they were in a power position, simply put. If they found at least one with the judge, think about all the space that you make. You basically have the entire site to yourself off the info alone, but Bob making that swing the other way kind of saved the round for the Sonics. Different change of pace here. Look what's going on. Kooky Koalas, they're about to conga line in towards A.
Absolutely. That is a cosmic divide. Viper's Pit. That is so much utility expended to get themselves onto site here. Screwface with that judge. Good for one. And Ange answers as well with her ult. And we are seeing Hunter's Fury in play here, but Kooky Koalas, they are cleaning house. And Dizzy has to sit on the borders.
Planted.
A bit late.
A bit late. That is a spike down in the Viper's Pit. And I mean, it's a 4v2 here for the Sonics. A little bit dire, but not impossible. It's a climb.
We're getting up there. I mean, the thing is, this was a massive round. Like the Kooky Koalas kind of desperately needed to win, lest their economy kind of go down to the utter brink. And I'll
One
go
enemy
a little bit more into detail in a bit, but these final frags have yet to come through. Bob is going to be the first one to feed themselves to the beast, and Dizzy Life shortly after. Not a terrible idea just to die. Cause a little bit of exit damage on your way through, but the round is already done, dusted. And it will be 11 for Kooky Koalas, only 2 away at this point from closing out and winning the championship. But right there, again, the Kooky Koalas, they knew that that was absolutely a round that they need to win. Perfect time to use the Viper's Pit. As soon as they have that successful entry, they're immediately going to be trying to set that spike down and set themselves up for success, excuse me. Anderson has been huge in that regard. As soon as he gets the Viper's Pit down, the round heavily swings in their favor. Maybe he doesn't have the most kills in the server, sure. His impact is undeniable.
Hard agree. I mean, that was such a scary round. I mean, Koalas, it almost looked expensive, but no, they only lost 2. What? Look at how crunchy. Yeah, he definitely did, and he's gonna do it again. Finds himself a caller, will dismiss away to safety. But look at where Screwface is. That is a good trade. dashes through, misses the mark a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Blade Storm is flying out, but that is a back and forth right now. It's still a 3v3 here as Sight compromised by Koalas. They will get that spike down.
These numbers are
Hunter's
really scary.
Fury from
advantage.
Harmon managed to tag one, but it's not a lot of damage. It doesn't matter. They are now sitting with their post-plant positions here.
And the double shots.
Oh, yeah, those Astra gravity pull doesn't even like waste it yet. Flick's forced to play aggressive here. It doesn't matter. Bob will trade that out, but that spike is still taking away. Looking to get it to happen. They will, but it doesn't matter. Harmon. Koalas are at match point. I repeat, Koalas are at match point.
Not only match point, but championship point as well. Kooky Koalas, it has been a long-ass day for them. No one can deny that. Strength of schedule hasn't been in their favor. 3 mappers all the way through. The round of 16 onwards. Soniqs, they've had glimpses of brilliance, but it's just unbelievable when it comes to the Koalas. They're simply just built differently. Screwface, undeniably one of the MVPs of this entire series. 26 in this map alone. Anderson, I'm sure, is knocking on the door, but let's not count our chickens before they hatch. We need one more round before it's officially done and dusted, and it's in their favor. Harmon starting things out with a drone aggro towards B long. Going to be spotting out, clearing Octagon. Now this is space that Kooky Koalas can now sit on. They don't need to commit. They can just sit on it for a little while and maybe decide where they want to go from there on out. Crunchy with a massive kill through the Nebula gets things into their favor, however, Nikki.
That was huge. But it doesn't matter. Kohler good for 2.
What?
Soniqs looking very scary for them. They're sitting at 3. It's a 4v3 here. That spike is going to go down. But I don't know. Kooky Koalas, they're in a really good position here. They even have the Cosmic Divide. There it is. It comes into play, blocking out the rest of Soniqs as they try to push through.
So difficult. Thing is, Nikki, they don't have to push. Kohler is just going to be holding this wide. 20 seconds effectively burned off the clock because of that Cosmic Divide. 2 players will be rotating in from the Soniqs over towards Elbow, and this is going to be their only lifeline, their only hope of victory. They need to win these fights, and they need to win them confidently. First one doesn't go their way. It's Kohler to hold the line. 3 kills found. Ian trying to keep the dream alive, but it's not possible. The Kooky Koalas